takes a device that looks like a double corkscrew on the end of the rod, runs it down, spins it around. It'll pull anything out of that's inside the barrel. Now we want to make sure there's no embers inside the barrel. Whip it wall. Takes a rod, it's got a kind of a woolen sock on it, whips it down, runs it down the barrel. This will extinguish anything that may still be burning inside the barrel, because it would be a big problem if we put fresh gunpowder on top of a spark. It may go off prematurely. Now we have to dry it out, so we call dry swab. Now he uses a dry rod, runs it down, clears it out. Now you notice that every time Jim puts something inside the barrel, he calls out vent, and Molly repeats with vented, replies. What Molly is doing, she's got her right hand in a glove, and her right thumb is over the vent hole. There's a hole that goes from the inside to the outside. That's how we're going to make our fuse. What she's doing is keeping any oxygen or debris from the inside from whipping in and out. If it gets clogged up, you can't fire the gun. Now, originally, the powder charge was wrapped up in a linen sack, kind of like what our shirts are made out of. Unfortunately, when it comes out of the cannon, it's actually burning. We don't want to throw that on top of our wood roofs. So instead, the powder charge today is actually wrapped up in aluminum foil, such as what Ralph has got right there. And how many of you think we should put the cannonball in today?
3.
I'd like to see what this would do. Unfortunately, they'd probably charge me for it. So instead of having the iron ball today, we're going to be putting in the dreaded 0.4 ounce styrofoam ball. And we put the styrofoam ball in, so it'll actually make compression, it'll actually make a loud crack. Okay, so once Ralph puts those back inside his sack there, we're going to call out, present, cartridge. Now, if we're running a live cannon out here, just like we're doing today, we want to make sure the person with the powder charge and that stays well away from the cannon. Because if he's got more than one charge in there, and something goes wrong, it could ignite what's inside the pouch, and then he'd be very, very hurt. So Ralph takes the charge, he puts it up against the front, and then Jim takes the ramrod, runs it in, and pushes it to the back of the barrel. Present, shot! Now Ralph takes you take the cannonball, put it up in the front. Now he's running it down and pushing it up against the back of the front of the cartridge. Now, Jim has got the ramrod up on top of the wheel. That signifies it's got a loaded tube. Okay? Now we have to make our fuse, so we call for thick and prime. Molly takes a brass pick, runs it down the fuse hole. And what it does is it punctures that aluminum foil cartridge that's inside. And once she does that, she takes a paper cartridge that's full of very fine-grained gunpowder, tears it open, she pours it in, and it fills up that tube and leaves a little pile up on top. So that way we've got a fuse that goes from the outside to the inside of the barrel. Now, she's walked over, she's picked up our linstock, and on the linstock is a piece of rope that's been chemically treated so it burns at a very slow and even pace, and that's what she's going to touch off the cannon with. Now, before we touch off the cannon, we have to do a couple of things to make sure your guys' hearing is saved, and also to warn anybody outside the fort that we're going to be firing off the cannon. So I'm going to count to 3, and I want all of you to yell as loud as you can, fire in the hole. Okay? And then I want you to take your hands, cup them, and cover your ears. Don't stick your fingers in ears. Cup your hands and cover them. Kind of like you're making a reverse Mickey Mouse here. Okay? Okay, all of you that are just coming in, you can come over. We'll wait for you to get in.
That's a brand new guy.
Okay, all of you, the group that just came in. Can we have it quiet here? Those of you that just came in, I want you to take your hands, tuck them, cover your ears. We're getting ready to fire the cannon, okay? Okay, everyone, cover your ears. Remember, 1, 2, 3.
Shut up.
Now we're going to wash out the cannon, get all the embers out.
I thought it was going
It is secure. We will be letting the rope down, and once we let the rope down, come back.